You're listening to the Eat, Drink, Explore Radio Network.
Fabulous.
Live every Sunday with the very latest food, beverage, and travel trends.
Amazing.
Now here's the host of our show, Mr. Randall White.
And a good Sunday morning, everyone. Great to have you with us here on KCOY, or KCOY. Okay, where is my brain?
What's happening?
Meltdown. Brush 92.5 and KSCO AM 1080 is what I am trying to say.
There we go.
In the most eloquent of ways. I am your host, Randall White, joined by the lovely, talented Patty Pyburn, and you have arrived at California's #1 place to talk about current trends in food, beverages, travel, and tourism. I got a full 8 hours last night.
Maybe that's the problem.
Right. Maybe we're redoing our bathrooms, and including the master bath, so maybe it's the paint fumes coming in. It is our goal to give you the tools you need to enjoy life's pleasures in a healthy, sustainable, and community-focused manner. This hour of Eat, Drink, Explore Radio is brought to you by the fine folks at Eberly Winery. Eberly is in Paso Robles, right on the heart of the Central Coast wine country growing region. They are open daily from 10 in the morning until 6 o'clock at night with complimentary wine tasting and cave tours. Voted by Wine Spectator as one of the best tours on the Central Coast. And if there was ever a day to go enjoy Central Coast wine country, it is today. Father's Day, graduation weekend for many colleges, including Cal Poly and San Luis Obispo, where we broadcast this show. Eberly Winery, located on 46 East in Paso Robles. You can log on to eberlywinery.com. That is EBERLE winery.com. And just ahead on this hour of the program, Miss Pyburn, we are speaking with the fine folks from Eco Farm.
Okay.
They are located in the Soquel area, which is just, south of Santa Cruz?
Right.
Neighboring Santa Cruz there. And they are putting on a big, it's stone fruit season.
Yes, it is.
And there is a giant organic stone fruit jubilee in the San Joaquin Valley, Fresno town of Clovis, I believe. And it is amazing the amount of stone fruit that is grown in this one area of the state. And they are working to make it more sustainable and really for people to buy more locally. A lot of that stone fruit is shipped throughout the nation, but there's a push underway because stone fruit is something that can be grown in other parts of the country. Georgia, of course, famous for their peaches. And this group is working to re-engage the people of California with this fruit so that it doesn't get shipped all over the place. It's
amazing that they have to do that. I don't ever have to re-engage the people in my house when it's time to start eating peaches and nectarines. And,
I know.
They take no convincing at all.
None. Then at the bottom of the hour, we are headed up to Cloverdale. Cloverdale is north of Santa Rosa, and it is a cute little town and has a brewery there called Bear Republic Brewery. That brewery has joined forces with a food bank in the North Bay to give their feed to some cattle that a rancher has donated the land that the cattle can be grown on, and then that beef gets turned into food for hungry families.
Very nice.
It is. It's really cool.
Yeah.
Cool story. And then let's see, for our travel segment on PBS, there is a series called California Forever, and it's a 2-part series all about California's state parks, and beautifully shot, just incredibly shot. The producers, Sally Kaplan and David Vassar, live in the foothills of California, I believe near in the Calaveras area. But at any rate, they will join us on the show for our travel segment to talk about the different state parks of California and how we keep them great and running.
and operating.
And operating, that little thing. And then next hour, Patty, we will bring in an old dear friend of mine, Huma Siddiqui. She runs a website called White Jasmine. She also has her own TV show that airs in the Midwest. She is originally from Pakistan, and that's her whole specialty, Pakistani spices and that sort of thing.
Nice.
When I was a morning news anchor back in the Midwest, we would have her on the show from time to time, and she would mix up some dishes. And this is before I was familiar with any of the spices she was using.
Right.
You know?
It's all new to you.
And she just has a wonderful way of explaining things, and I love Huma, and I'm so happy to have her on the show. And then finally, the entire 9:30 half hour. Okay, so all of you xenophiles out there, wine lovers, right? That's what a xenophile is?
Sure.
It came out of my mouth, and then I was like, I better look that up. I think it starts with an X, but I'm not sure.
I'm on it.
At any rate, there are fewer than or just over 200 master sommeliers in the nation. There.
I don't know that one. This is the people that took the test.
Yeah. Oh.
There was
no.
Oh yeah, less than 200.
Okay, yeah. There's fewer than 200 master sommeliers in the world.
Okay. I knew that it was an elite and small group
that have gone through the court of master sommeliers, and a movie is that came through the Psalm that went through the film fest circuit is being released, I believe, this month. Nationwide, so you'll see it at your more art house district theaters, and it's all about going through the court of master sommeliers and how difficult it is. Well, one of the people featured in that film is now opening a wine bar and wine merchant store in Santa Barbara.
Oh,
and
cool.
We will have him on the show, the 9:30 half hour, to educate us, to give us some of the tips on tasting.
Okay, speaking of education, xenophile?
Yeah.
You're probably in the ballpark of what you wanted to say. It's someone attracted to foreign things or styles or people. So,
Oh.
So
yeah.
it is first known to be used in 1948.
Oh.
Yes.
And was it spelled with an X? Did I have that right?
Yes, that is right. So, if you like foreign wines or something, and that depends on where you're located, because if you are in Europe, you might like our wines. That would be foreign.
And in which case you'd be a xenophile. You know what? I'll tell you what, the people who like beer over in Europe, they've become xenophiles because they're all about the U.S. craft brewing scene.
This is true.
I love that. I just love we've turned it on. So for so long,
Turned it around.
We were the laughing stock of the Germans and the British. Oh, that American beer. Now they're like, ooh, that American beer.
Yeah. Give us another pint.
Isn't that great? Oh,
Yes.
that just makes me so happy. So if you have some questions, if you've always been sort of wondering some things about tasting wine and what exactly is a good wine, and does it have to be old? Does it have to be expensive? All those different things, whatever might be bothering you, you have a chance today to get your question answered by a master sommelier.
An elite expert.
A very, very elite
Yes.
among just, a
few hundred people
here in the world. So you can send your question. You can tweet it if you like via our Twitter account, which is at Eat Drink Explore. You can also ask the question on our Facebook page. Once again, facebook.com/Eat Drink Explore, or just send us an email, radio@eatdrinkexplore.com. And we will pass your question on to Brian McClintock. He's one of the people featured in that movie, Psalm, as I mentioned. So,
Very cool.
did I already say who the sponsor? Yeah, I did the sponsor.
Yes, you did.
Okay, good. So just after the break, Anthony. Just after the break, it is our health and fitness segment, and there's no healthier way to enjoy the summer than by munching down on some fresh stone fruit. It is 8:14. You're listening to the Eat, Drink, Explore Radio Network. I'm your host, Randall White, joined by Patty Pyburn, and we're back in just a moment. Randall White here, host of Eat, Drink, Explore Radio, with a tip for Central Coast wine tasting. Eberly Winery was recently voted Winery of the Year by the world's top sommeliers and has one of the best local tours according to Wine Spectator. Eberly Winery open daily 10 to 6, and the winery's cave tours and wine tasting always complimentary. It's easy to find, too. Located on Highway 46 East, just 3.5 miles from Highway 101. Now it's time to plan your visit. Just head to eberlywinery.com.
Seems everybody's going organic, including lawn care. Did you know communities across the country are converting their lawns, playgrounds, and playing fields to an organic care program? And it's working. You can safely control weeds and pests and have a beautiful lawn. Your kids, pets, and water supplies will be safer, and your neighbors will be green with envy. Oh, and in the long run, organic lawn care is cheaper than doing it the conventional way. Switch to organic lawn care today. Visit pesticidefreelawns.org. The folks who brought you this public service message. Check out pesticidefreelawns.org today.
California business owners, entrepreneurs, farmers, authors, and other professionals, this message is for you. We're looking to highlight those of you who give back to the community, care about the environment, and have the health of our state as part of your business model or focus. Our new California Love website is in the beta testing phase. So, during the next few months, we're offering free listings to qualified people or business entities. It's a win-win situation. You help populate our site with quality, locally owned California companies, and we help direct customers to your business or product. Simply head over to CALUV.com. That's CA as in California, LUV as in a cute way to spell love.com, and enter the information for your business today. Why wouldn't you? It's easy and it's free. CALUV.com, the California Love Business Recommendation Tool. The Eat, Drink, Explore Media radio show you are currently enjoying is in a local affiliate commercial break. Live programming will return shortly. Did you know you can watch a live video simulcast of our Sunday morning and Thursday evening shows from your computer, smartphone, or tablet device? And to top it off, it's free. Simply head to eatdrinkexplore.com or download our free app from the Google Play or Apple App Store. If you have a suggestion for an upcoming guest segment, send an email to radio@eatdrinkexplore.com. We're always looking for fresh ideas, including yours. We love to share fresh, local, organic, seasonal, and sustainable ideas throughout the week. And the best place to find those are on our Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook feeds. Our username across the social networking universe is simple: Eat, Drink, Explore, all one word. Hey, college students, Eat, Drink, Explore Media is always looking for qualified journalism or marketing interns. Send us an email today so we can check your status and put you on the list for upcoming intern vacancies. Would you like to hear this Eat, Drink, Explore radio program on one of your local radio stations? Let the station know and contact us as well so we can get the ball rolling. Okay, you made it. The local affiliate commercial break is now over. Time for more informative and entertaining programming from Eat, Drink, Explore Media. Thank you for your patience. "19 minutes past the hour here on the Eat, Drink, Explore radio network. Great to have you joining us this fine mid-June day as we head into California's peak stone fruit season. So lots of fresh, ripe, organic, locally grown peaches, nectarines, plums, and cherries at your neighborhood farmers market and produce departments. Hundreds of stone fruit varieties are grown in the San Joaquin Valley of California and then shipped to many locations around the world. This coming Saturday, June the 22nd, in the Fresno County town of Clovis, is the Organic Stone Fruit Jubilee, celebrating the area's ag crop. And joining us now to talk about the event is Tom Willey. He's a Madera organic farmer and is the host of his own radio program called Down on the Farm, heard in Fresno. And Ken Dickerson, the executive director of Santa Cruz County-based Eco Farm, the organization that's putting on Saturday's Jubilee, along with Slow Food Madera. Welcome, guys.
Well, thank you, Randall. Thanks for the plug for your a competing radio show there.
Oh yeah, no worries. It's all good. We're talking about fresh fruit and can't get enough of that. So,
Right, that's what we talk about over here too.
hey Ken, let's start with you. What is EcoFarm's main goal as an organization, and then how is the Jubilee tied into that?
Oh, sure. The Ecological Farming Association's main goal is to work on behalf of facilitating, educating, and advocating for safety, health, and justice in our food and farming system. And how we do that is by conducting primarily education focused for the farmer, so technical training and support for farmers, and then also connecting farmers with citizens and people who are interested to understand a path to better health and wonderful and diverse and fresh and tasty produce through events like the Stone Fruit Jubilee.
Right, and you're based in Santa Cruz County, but you hold these things all over the state, right?
Yes, we have a number of events that we host. We host the Ecological Farming Conference that you had mentioned. It's at Asilomar here on the Central Coast, and that's in January. It's primarily a conference made up about 50% farmers, and then the rest of the people interested in seeing the continued transformation of the food and farming system towards healthfulness. We also have the Hose Down Festival, which is held on Full Belly Farm, and that is an event that's a farm festival and education event with camping for the family, and that's the first weekend in October.
Where's Full Belly Farm? I love the name, first off, but where's that located?
Full Belly Farm is in Capay. It's not far from Davis, California. The little town there is called Gwinda.
Yeah, beautiful, back in a little valley.
Yes.
And so the Stone Fruit Jubilee is one of these events then that helps connect the consumer and the farmer, and a little bit of education with some sampling as well. And Tom, hundreds of varieties of stone fruit are grown in the Central Valley, as I mentioned in the intro there. And aside from the ones most people know, like your peaches and your nectarines, what are some of the types that are a little more unique and will be fun to sample at the upcoming event?
There's a whole panoply now of pluots and apriums, which are a cross between plum and apricot. Actually, a lot of people don't realize it, but all of our stone fruits, and all the way, including almonds, peaches, plums, nectarines, they're all in a genus or a species called prunus, and they can actually be crossed with each other. Even cherries are. So there's a lot of work being done with some of these really brilliant breeders around here to cross different fruits that we consider quite unique from each other, but they're actually in the same species, and so they're coming up with things like pluots, which you can actually tell is the combination of the name plum and apricot. So those are the ones that have a greater plum influence, and then the apriums are also a combination of those two words, but because the apricot part of it is first, and their progeny emphasize more the aprium, but it also has plum parentage in it. So there's a lot of interesting things going on with new and unique fruits here. And all of the growers that we have, about 10 or 12 growers that participate in the Stone Fruit Jubilee, come from this area that we call the Golden Triangle, which is kind of in the Reedley, Parlier, Kingsburg area that is just classically perfect for tree fruit, with beautiful sandy loam soils and good water out of the Kings River and perfect climate for stone fruits of all kinds. And so there's a lot of the production is concentrated there. Several of these families have been in the business for over 100 years, over several generations, and we're inviting people from all parts and all areas of California to come and celebrate and enjoy with us and taste these wares and elevate the status of these great farmers that are not only growing these wonderful fruits, but they're growing them organically.
Tom, did I hear you include almonds in the long list of stone fruit?
That's correct, yeah.
So an almond is a stone fruit?
It is a stone fruit, yes.
I would have never known that.
We're just interested in eating the pit and not the flesh.
I see. Okay.
All the other stone fruits were interested in the flesh and not the pit.
Right.
It's fascinating botany to the whole business.
Do you happen to know what percentage of the nation's stone fruit comes from that Golden Triangle?
From this area here, a significant percentage of it. I would guess maybe somewhere on the order of 50%.
Yeah. It's amazing. Our state just tops so many lists. You know, you can just go down from kiwi to avocados, where we provide the nation with the bulk of it. And for a while, I didn't live in California. I lived back in Wisconsin. And when you'd go into, say, a Whole Foods or something, you walk down the produce aisle and you just see California, all the way down. And that always made me proud, being a native Californian. So,
well, Georgia is famous for peaches, and and then Michigan is really more famous for cherries and apples. But there's kind of something a little wrong with so much of a valuable set of fruits like that being grown in one location and shipped to the whole country.
Right.
There's actually kind of a movement to relocalize fruit production now, because the stone fruit industry has really had rough times out here over the last few years, because they're not able to pick a ripe peach like you can pick a ripe bunch of grapes and ship it to New York City or Toronto. So they really actually picking half-ripe fruit and shipping it to those locations, and it looks wonderful in the supermarket. It looks beautiful, but it doesn't taste like it looks.
Yeah, we all know what that's like.
So the industrial, long-distance shipped fruit, it has really been disappointing the customer base that's waking up more to flavor. And so there's been quite a decline in the industry here. A number of thousands of acres have been bulldozed, and a number of packing sheds have gone out of business. So the industry has been struggling and is kind of trying to reinvent itself. And that's what was the impetus for starting the Organic Stone Fruit Jubilee, because there's been so much emphasis on shipping fruit away from here that the people that live in this area, there's a million residents, urban people in Fresno County alone, haven't really been enjoying tree-ripe fruit from their own backyard, so to speak, their own commercial farming backyard, or this Golden Triangle. So that's what we're focusing on with this event.
Well, Tom and Ken, thank you so much for joining us. Quickly, Tom, what are the hours on Saturday?
It starts at 4 in the afternoon. The fruit tasting starts at 5 p.m., and the event goes until 8. There will be a lot of other things going on as well as just the fruit tasting. And you can get more information at www.fruitjubilee.org.
Excellent. And we have a link at eatdrinkexplore.com. Tom Willie and Ken Dickerson, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you, Randall.
Thank you, Randall.
All right, stick around, everyone. Just after the break, we're headed to Sonoma County for a little beer tasting. Back in a moment. Can we have your attention for a moment? Eat, Drink, Explore Media has an important date we want to share with you. Saturday, July 13th. We invite you to join us at a craft beer and food event like no other. At last count, generous samples from more than 70 breweries will be paired with local culinary treats for the 2013 Breast Fest along San Francisco's waterfront at Fort Mason. Going on its 14th year, the annual Breast Fest has grown dramatically, raising money for an incredibly important cause, providing free, complimentary treatments for women battling breast cancer. The Charlotte Maxwell Clinic offers services such as acupuncture, massage, organic foods, and transportation. The clinic's core mission to provide relief from the terrible side effects of cancer and its treatments. Eat, Drink, Explore Media is very proud to be among the main sponsors for this year's event. For more information, go to thebreastfest.org.
The traditional light bulb, a groundbreaking invention in 1879. Other groundbreaking ideas from that time, the whalebone corset, the pedal-operated submarine, and the two-story outhouse. We've come a long way since then. It's time our light bulbs did the same. Visit EnergySavers.gov and learn about energy-saving light bulbs. See, these new bulbs are more efficient than the old ones, like a text message is more efficient than a carrier pigeon. They last longer, too, like how we humans last longer now that doctors use antibiotics instead of leeches. And they cut down on our energy costs, because in our own groundbreaking age of aeroplanes and moving pictures, we deserve a light bulb that saves us some cash. Saving energy saves you money. Learn more at EnergySavers.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Energy and the Ad Council.
The Eat, Drink, Explore Media radio show you are currently enjoying is in a local affiliate commercial break. Live programming will return shortly. Did you know you can watch a live video simulcast of our Sunday morning and Thursday evening shows from your computer, smartphone, or tablet device? And to top it off, it's free. Simply head to eatdrinkexplore.com or download our free app from the Google Play or Apple App Store. If you have a suggestion for an upcoming guest segment, send an email to radio@eatdrinkexplore.com. We're always looking for fresh ideas, including yours. We love to share fresh, local, organic, seasonal, and sustainable ideas throughout the week. And the best place to find those are on our Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook feeds. Our username across the social networking universe is simple: Eat, Drink, Explore, all one word. Hey, college students, Eat, Drink, Explore Media is always looking for qualified journalism or marketing interns. Send us an email today so we can check your status and put you on the list for upcoming intern vacancies. Would you like to hear this Eat, Drink, Explore radio program on one of your local radio stations? Let the station know and contact us as well so we can get the ball rolling. Okay, you made it. The local affiliate commercial break is now over. Time for more informative and entertaining programming from Eat, Drink, Explore Media. Thank you for your patience. And a very good morning, everyone. Great to have you with us. 8:33 the time here on the Eat, Drink, Explore Radio Network. I'm your host, Randall White, joined by Patty Pyburn. Good morning, Patty.
Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, everyone, and a happy Father's Day once again. It is Father's Day Sunday, or Sunday Fun Day for fathers.
Right.
Time to get out there, do a little grilling maybe, and just enjoy yourself. The weather throughout the state should be ideal today. It will be one of the warmer days of the next several. We'll have the weather and the California news coming up a little past 9 o'clock this morning. But today, this segment here, we are talking about beer. Beer up in Sonoma County, and what one company in particular is doing to help out the Redwood Empire Food Bank of Sonoma County through I've heard about spent grains from breweries being donated to farmers and such, but never in this fashion. So I thought, well, you know what? Let's have the guy behind it on, brewmaster Rich Norgrove with Bear Republic Brewery. That is in Cloverdale, northern Sonoma County. He's joining us right now to talk a little bit about it. Hey, Rich.
Hey, good morning. How are you?
Yeah, good morning to you too. Great. And I really like what you're doing there at Bear Republic. So explain how this works. You take the spent grains, and then what happens to them?
Well, basically what we've got is a byproduct that if I was a larger brewery, say in a metropolitan area, I'd have to dispose of into a landfill. And Cheryl has been working with us. She's the farmer out in Knights Valley literally since the day we opened our brewery, and she has kind of got a lock on the smaller breweries in the area. She goes over to St. Helena and then also picks up from our pub all of the spent grain. So take the best grain you possibly could purchase in the world to make beer with, and then you've removed all of its sugars, and you basically have this pure protein source that needs to be utilized basically within 24, 48 hours, or it starts to go bad on you in turn. And they figured out how to do it, how to supplement their feed source and provide their cattle with some nutrients, and then it also allows me to not have to dump it into a landfill. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of a win-win for everybody.
And there's nothing wrong with the grain as far as removing the sugars that isn't necessary to be used as feed then? Just the protein is what's needed?
Pretty much. At this, the type of malt that's utilized in making beer is like the top 2 to 3% of all the malt in the world.
Oh.
It goes through a secondary process. So they re-germinate the malt, and that allows the sugars to be broken down in the malt kernel, and then it's kilned and dried. And that's how a brewer gets his malt. And so there's usually a base 2-row malt, which makes up, every recipe has some 2-row in it. And then there's these specialty malts that we buy. It could be rye malt, it could be different types of crystal malts, black malts, all those things that give beer its real special flavors. And once I've taken everything I needed out of it, which is removing the sugars, and we have obviously a special brew house that allows us to do that. It's called a mash tun. It's the big vessel that this all happens in. Once those sugars are removed, it creates a sugar water called wort, and then you add your yeast and hops at different times, and you go through the fermentation process, and you have beer. Well, once I've removed that sugar, I've basically got grain, spent grain we call it, that is a wonderful protein source. And so, Cheryl has a Black Angus breeding program is what she does. She actually sells her cattle every year for breeding stock, and working with her, it just became a way for her to actually purchase a little less feed, allow us to again not throw it in the landfill. If we were a brewery in San Francisco, we'd be having to figure out how to dump it. In this case, you work directly with the farmer, and the farmer's driving out to the brewery every single day, so it's very much a synergistic relationship. She has to know our brew schedule. If we get too far behind on our brew schedule, we're affecting the cow's feeding schedule.
Right.
So
it's a partnership.
Yeah.
Everyone has to be together, and we've kind of expanded this out a little bit as our capacity's grown to where we have a farmer in Petaluma that actually takes it and feeds it to their goats, and then there's wonderful goat cheese that is served at our pub and restaurant, on a little charcuterie plate. So it's one of the really neatest relationships I can honestly say I have of all the years of Bear Republic being around, because Cheryl has this beautiful portion of Sonoma County that she has been in her family for multiple generations, and it's the coolest thing. I mean, these cows know when the trucks are showing up.
See the smiles on their faces. Rich, what's the connection then with Cheryl and the Redwood Empire Food Bank? How does this meat then get to needy families?
Well, what Cheryl put together, and she's the main catalyst of this, is that she started to realize there was a way, her breeding cattle for such a long time, it really wasn't something that she was used to doing, to be making breeding cattle to be used as food. Mm-hmm. And she really does love her cattle almost like pets. And so she took this to the next step and has gone ahead and asked several other ranchers in the area to donate heads of cattle to her. And then what she does is she basically raises them on her farm, and then is taking this all the way from the beginning of the process to the feed, which is what we're providing, all the way down to getting people to donate the butchering, and then it goes directly to the food bank. So for me, it's kind of, I joke sometimes, because it's we like to say the beer starts from the farm to the brewery to the table, and now we're going back to the farm, and it goes around in another circle. It's really a neat program, and she really was one of the spearheads for this, and you couple that with just all the different folks working together, and it makes for just a really neat program. I mean, I'm really happy to be a part of it. I never would have met anybody at the food bank before. These cattle ranchers who donate the heads of cattle are just the salt of the earth, and so to be a part of all that is really a unique thing for me, and wonderful to be a part of Sonoma County.
So, Rich, people already obviously enjoy drinking beer, and now they have another reason to enjoy if they drink your beer.
Rich, I haven't been to Cloverdale in I don't know. I drove through it just a couple of years ago, but the Cloverdale is in northern Sonoma County, and if I understand correctly, it will be at the far northern end of the SMART train, which is the Sonoma Marin area rapid transit system that is being developed. That will put Cloverdale connected by a mass transit system to the rest of the Bay Area. Are you expecting a lot of growth in the Cloverdale area after that happens?
Well, yes, and there's always fear with growth, right? And it's an older community, and it's also a small little town that's surrounded. Just geographically, it can't get that big.
Yeah.
And so the hope is yes. We're the farthest northern Sonoma County town, and it's kind of it's the gateway to the Redwoods before you head up to Mendocino and Humboldt County, and it's probably going to be 4 or 5 years before we get SMART up there. But it's really going to change just even the way that I get to go to work, and it's really going to allow. We're becoming more like you would see when you go to Germany or Europe or the UK, where you can get everywhere. And just imagine, for me, I'm going to be able to ride my bike down to my pub in Healdsburg, which we have a pub and brewery there.
Oh, you lucky dog! I know I love Healdsburg.
Hop on a train and literally go down and watch a ball game in San Francisco or head up north. And I think that's going to be part of the real charm when this gets in place.
Yeah.
We're really working, too, to try to make sure that the rail component is part of SMART. And my distributor down in Petaluma is literally off one of the rail spurs. And it's my hope that we'll be able to ship beer via rail at some point, or even bring in grain from the port of Oakland, say some of our grain that comes in from the UK, and have it run by rail. So this is a long-term thing for Sonoma County, and when it finally gets all in play, it's going to really... It's going to be a real positive.
Yeah, I think it's fantastic. I grew up in Marin, and as you well know, Marin and Sonoma did not sign on to the big BART expansion when BART went in the late 60s, early 70s, and then any of the expansions since then have not included Marin or Sonoma counties, and so this will be the first sort of light rail system for the North Bay, which will terminus, I believe, in Larkspur, so you can jump on the ferry and take it right over to San Francisco. And they do have like you mentioned, those special ferries that will drop you off at AT&T Park to watch a game. I love that idea because then you can enjoy the beer at the park, which they have some really fantastic brews there. And not have to worry about driving. Hey, Rich, looking at the pictures that you shared with us regarding this grain operation that you're doing with the Redwood Empire Food Bank of Sonoma County, and people, I should mention, can see these pictures as well by watching our video simulcast, which we offer online at eatdrinkexplore.com. Reminds me of when I was a manager at the Marin Brewing Company in the early 90s, and I would have to dump these giant bags of grain, physically lift these bags, rip them open, dump them into the grist or the mill, I'm not sure what it's called, and then it would dump it down into the mash tun. Meanwhile, you are standing above something that is boiling, so steam is coming up, and you have all this fine dust from the grain that can actually kill you if you don't wear a mask, because it'll coat the inside of your lungs, and then when the moisture hits it, it expands and you basically suffocate to death. So try doing that after drinking beer the night before. It's not fun. but the whole brewery and the surrounding area smells then of the when the brewer's making a specific thing. And when I'm driving through a community and I smell that? All of a sudden all these like triggers go off, and I'm like, okay, I got to find this place. Where is it? They're brewing.
It takes you back.
It does, yeah. Rich, are you the gent that dumps these bags of grain, or do you have a different system set up?
Well, we still have to do it old school, and I got to tell you, my first original brewing job was at Marin Brewing Company.
Oh, you're kidding!
I was an apprentice there with
Grant,
and then Brendan hired me to help with the opening of Moylan.
Oh, that's awesome!
So what a fun time! But yes, I've got a special grain auger system that uses it in, but we have to dump in the fine ingredients.
You know exactly what I'm talking about, and the room that you did it in. BearRepublic.com. All those links available at Eat, Drink, Explore. Rich, thank you so much.
Cheers.
Randall White here, host of Eat, Drink, Explore Radio, with a tip for Central Coast wine tasting. Eberly Winery was recently voted Winery of the Year by the world's top sommeliers and has one of the best local tours according to Wine Spectator. Eberly Winery open daily 10 to 6, and the winery's cave tours and wine tasting always complimentary. It's easy to find, too. Located on Highway 46 East, just 3.5 miles from Highway 101. Now it's time to plan your visit. Just head to eberlywinery.com.
Hello, this is Julia Louis-Dreyfus, and I want to tell you about my new favorite discovery, Yosemite National Park. I recently went there with my husband and children, and we walked the trails to see the breathtaking waterfalls, admired the grand meadows, and giant sequoias. But the future of our national parks is uncertain. Many challenges face our parks today, from polluted air and water to development threats outside their borders and inadequate funding to protect our national heritage. That's why the National Parks Conservation Association recently completed a decade-long assessment of the challenges facing our national parks, along with proposed actions that will ensure our children and grandchildren will be able to enjoy the parks as we have. Our national parks have inspired Americans for nearly 100 years. As we approach the centennial of the National Park Service in 2016, please join us in helping to protect our national park legacy. Find out how at www.mpca.org.
Randall White here, host of Eat, Drink, Explore Radio, with a tip for Central Coast wine tasting. Eberly Winery was recently voted Winery of the Year by the world's top sommeliers and has one of the best local tours according to Wine Spectator. Eberly Winery open daily 10 to 6, and the winery's cave tours and wine tasting always complimentary. It's easy to find, too. Located on Highway 46 East, just 3.5 miles from Highway 101. Now it's time to plan your visit. Just head to eberlywinery.com. The Eat, Drink, Explore Media radio show you are currently enjoying is in a local affiliate commercial break. Live programming will return shortly. Did you know you can watch a live video simulcast of our Sunday morning and Thursday evening shows from your computer, smartphone, or tablet device? And to top it off, it's free. Simply head to eatdrinkexplore.com or download our free app from the Google Play or Apple App Store. If you have a suggestion for an upcoming guest segment, send an email to radio@eatdrinkexplore.com. We're always looking for fresh ideas, including yours. We love to share fresh, local, organic, seasonal, and sustainable ideas throughout the week. And the best place to find those are on our Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook feeds. Our username across the social networking universe is simple: Eat, Drink, Explore, all one word. Hey, college students, Eat, Drink, Explore Media is always looking for qualified journalism or marketing interns. Send us an email today so we can check your status and put you on the list for upcoming intern vacancies. Would you like to hear this Eat, Drink, Explore radio program on one of your local radio stations? Let the station know and contact us as well so we can get the ball rolling. Okay, you made it. The local affiliate commercial break is now over. Time for more informative and entertaining programming from Eat, Drink, Explore Media. Thank you for your patience.
You waited all week, and it's finally here. The Eat, Drink, Explore Weekly Travel Deals Extravaganza.
8:49 now the time, everyone. Great to have you with us on this Sunday fun day. You are listening to the Eat, Drink, Explore Radio Network. This is our travel segment, and today we are not focusing so much on travel deals. However, I do believe that these are a great deal. We are addressing places to visit within the state of California, specifically California state parks. You know, the state has more national park units than any other state in the nation.
Not at all surprising.
And then aside from the places that have been designated national parks, we have some outstanding state parks that really, on their own, if you go travel around the country, you'll realize that California state parks in any other state would be a national park. But we're already overloaded with the national parks, so the rest of them are state. There is a new series that is on PBS, and I'm a big fan of PBS. It is called California Forever. It's a 2-part series. It was produced by Sally Kaplan and David Vassar. They live, I believe, in the foothills region along 49 there in California, and join us on the phone right now to talk a little bit about the series. Welcome to the program, Sally and David.
Thank you. Happy to be here.
Yes, and so I'm curious, what gave you the inspiration to kick off this California Forever series?
So actually, it's an interesting story. It was about 4 years ago now, and there was conversation on the table to build a toll road through a state park in Southern California. San Onofre State Beach is very famous among surfers and campers alike. And David actually read an article in the newspaper that there was conversation about this, and looked at me over coffee one morning and said, "This is insane. These places were put here as a legacy for our children, grandchildren, for us to be stewards of forever. How could they even be having this conversation?" And he wrote a letter to a woman actually at California State Parks Foundation and said, you might be losing your constituency here. We're filmmakers. If you would consider a film being made about the subject, we're the people to do it because we make natural history films. And they got behind it with us and said, yes, let's do this. That's how it all began.
So is the idea here, if people get more educated and more familiar with kind of the way, people take animals to classrooms and say if they meet the animal, they care about the animal, they'll want to conserve. Is that sort of the thinking behind this series?
Yeah, I think that David Vassar here, I think that the fact of the matter is that people have really kind of forgotten the legacy of California state parks, the pricelessness of these places. And, parks are they're a political entity. They were created by politicians and congresspeople and senators, both at the state and national level. And if the places that are protected lose the constituency to protect them, then people will make serious proposals to put a 6-lane highway through a state park because the state already owns the land, and why should they buy private land?
But I think your comment about bringing animals to the classroom to educate people is absolutely yes. I mean, half of these places, or more than half, people are not even aware of parks. They just think that they're pretty places that will be there forever, and they have a picnic once in a while.
Right. Yeah, no, I know. Yeah.
And then when it's suddenly not there, what happened to that place? So absolutely, it's to educate people on the value of these places and what they're all about.
Just to pick up on the introduction, very, very few people know that Yosemite was actually California's first state park.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Before it was a national park.
Yeah, from 1865 to 1906, the Yosemite Valley and the Mariposa Grove of Big Trees, which the first time Congress set aside public land for preservation. The state of California, there was no federal presence in California in 1864. So the state of California ran Yosemite from 1864 to 1906. And 3 state parks up on the north coast, Prairie Creek and Humboldt, are now part of Redwood National Park. They're still run by the state, but they're surrounded on 3 sides, one side by the ocean, the other 3 by Redwood National Park.
One of the photos that we're showing online that you shared with us, beautiful photos, by the way, and I've heard nothing but great comments regarding the cinematography for this series, just beautiful shooting. But one of the photos that you shared with us is La Purísima Mission in Lompoc. Would you say that the California missions are probably California's best-known state parks?
David, I'm going to let you answer.
I think that every child who went to school in California and got the California history section on the mission certainly has an awareness of the whole mission story. But there's only a couple of them that are protected as state parks. Most of them are national monuments. Some of them are privately taken care of by, the Catholic Church and things like that. So I think you could use visitation as a marker for what's the most popular. And surprisingly, Old Town San Diego is the most heavily visited park in California.
Wow.
Most people don't even know it's a park.
I've stayed there, and it is beautiful. The Cosmopolitan Hotel is run by a concessioner, and we did a little piece while we were there on it being haunted.
Right. I remember that.
Yeah, but walking around that area and stuff, it's fantastic, and that is one of California's state parks. Yeah. I'm wondering, Sally and David, what you think about the Little Hoover Commission study that came out earlier this year regarding basically saying that in order to maintain California's state park system, there needs to be an overhaul of how they're run.
Yeah, I think it's long overdue. Interestingly, we started our film in,
2009.
Yeah, 2009. So this was before any of the funding scandals were on the radar. The closures weren't even.
No one knew.
No one knew what was going on. So I think it's long overdue. I think that as Sally was saying earlier, people need to be reminded and not take these incredible places for granted. And I think it's a great idea. I mean, it's been, it's been the problems are not new to people who are sort of engaged with parks on a day-to-day basis. If you talk to any volunteer at any state park or any park employee, whether it be a ranger or a maintenance person or an interpretive person, this has been going on for quite a while, and I welcome the thoughts and ideas.
Yeah, I've heard very little on the negative side regarding that study.
Well, it's another interesting, aspect to this is that communities really could mobilize to protect their parks more, because those parks, for instance, Montaña de Oro State Park near Morro Bay, bring so many people to the area.
It's true. On so many different levels. I'm really glad that this came out. Sally and David, Sally Kaplan and David Vesser, where can people see it on PBS, but it's already run, correct?
You can get a DVD or Blu-ray by going to our website, cal4ever.com.
Fantastic. It's cal4ever.com. As Sally just said, we have a link to it at eatdrinkexplore.com under today's program summary. Sally and David, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks a lot.
All right.
What's the name of your show, by the way?
Oh,
Three of my favorite things.
Eat. Oh, yeah, I love it. My three favorite, too.
Eat, drink, explore.
Go to parks, you can eat, drink, and
You do. You can do all three at parks. All right, everyone, stick around. We're back in just a moment. The Eat, Drink, Explore Media radio show you are currently enjoying is in a local affiliate commercial break. Live programming will return shortly. Did you know you can watch a live video simulcast of our Sunday morning and Thursday evening shows from your computer, smartphone, or tablet device? And to top it off, it's free. Simply head to eatdrinkexplore.com or download our free app from the Google Play or Apple App Store. If you have a suggestion for an upcoming guest segment, send an email to radio@eatdrinkexplore.com. We're always looking for fresh ideas, including yours. We love to share fresh, local, organic, seasonal, and sustainable ideas throughout the week. And the best place to find those are on our Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook feeds. Our username across the social networking universe is simple: Eat, Drink, Explore, all one word. Hey, college students, Eat, Drink, Explore Media is always looking for qualified journalism or marketing interns. Send us an email today so we can check your status and put you on the list for upcoming intern vacancies. Would you like to hear this Eat, Drink, Explore radio program on one of your local radio stations? Let the station know and contact us as well so we can get the ball rolling. Okay, you made it.
The local affiliate commercial break is now over. Time for more informative and entertaining programming from Eat, Drink, Explore Media. Thank you for your patience.
You're listening to the Eat, Drink, Explore Radio Network, live every Sunday with the very latest food, beverage, and travel trends.
Fabulous.
Now here's the host of our show, Mr. Randall White.
And hello, everyone. Crush 92.5 listeners specifically. This is your exclusive segment of the show. Great to have you joining myself and Patty Pyburn here with us. I love that last segment with Sally and David, the producers of California Forever. They were fun, weren't they?
Yeah, obviously passionate about their subject.
Yeah, I wish it had been a little bit longer.
They were really cute.
Somebody who is passionate about one thing, and that is films, is Wendy Edson. She runs the Slow Film Fest, which has grown tremendously. And she's on the line with us right now in Toronto, Canada. Wendy, welcome to the program.
Good morning, or good afternoon, I guess.
Yes, you took the red eye last night, so I appreciate you joining us at this early hour, and hopefully you're not too bleary.
No, somehow I slept, so I'm all's well.
Wendy, I got a note from you. It was either yesterday or Friday regarding, I think it was yesterday, regarding the San Luis Obispo International Film Fest. I always just call it the Slow Film Fest, and I leave out the whole international aspect of it. Right. But that you have been featured in an article regarding, it's in Movie Maker magazine, that San Luis Obispo's fest is among the best in the world.
Well, I think you said the country, but I'll take the world. When I first read it, I thought it said the county, and I thought, well, that's, pretty good.
Right.
And then I'm like, oh, no, the country. Okay, this is something. Yeah, no, we're really, really thrilled, and we've known this all along, but it's just nice to see some validation that we're doing things right, and people are starting to really discover our little town and our film festival.
Yeah, Timothy, is it pronounced Rise? He's the publisher.
I think it's Reese.
Reese. Oh, okay. Publisher and editor-in-chief of the Movie Maker magazine has visited now the Film Fest twice and says basically it delivers all the goods that you would expect for a really large urban festival, but as we know,
in a really great small town setting,
the best small town setting I can think of. Yeah. How do you maintain that, Wendy? It can't be easy.
Well, it's amazing, actually. It's sort of there's a point where magic sort of just takes over because we have next to no staff. It's almost all volunteer run, and we have incredible volunteers, but still, we don't have the staff that a lot of larger festivals have. So you just kind of try to plan, try to be organized, and then you just have to hope that things work the way you want them to.
Yeah.
And especially when it's involving filmmakers and celebrities, they're hard to pin down. And one advantage we definitely have is that we're a 3.5-hour drive from Los Angeles. So that makes it a lot easier.
It's accessible.
If we were in the middle of Iowa, it would be a lot harder. So we definitely have that going for us.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, do you get a good turnout from, some of the big names? Because I know last year it was, you had a thing with Hearst Castle that was really cool. Do you guys find that you do get people to show up?
Yeah, and I think Hearst Castle is actually really going to help to be a great draw for us in the future, too. 2 years ago, we screened Citizen Kane for the first time. Not actually in the Castle Theater, but in the bigger Visitor Center Theater. It was a huge hit. We got press all over the world, and we started to, I think, really capture the attention of a lot of people in Hollywood. Because what other festival in this country has a castle?
Right. That's a really good point.
And it's a pretty nice castle at that.
It's pretty amazing. So we've continued to do events there. We did one this year. We actually did a documentary called Citizen Hearst that was produced by the Hearst Corporation. So that was a little different, but it had Citizen in the title. So now we're going to be looking for another film with Citizen as the title.
And Wendy, I'm sure you're busy preparing for the next Film Fest hits when?
March 5th to the 9th.
March
So
5th through the 9th, 2014. Wendy, I'll let you get back to your business there in Toronto. Thank you so much for joining us. In fact, one of the films from this most previous fest, Somm, we're having one of the characters from Somm on the show later today.
That's right.
Oh, fantastic.
So, yeah.
It's a great film.
Take care, Wendy.
Thanks so much.
Hey, farmers market fans, listen up because we're launching a new show just for you. Join the Eat, Drink, Explore radio network each Thursday evening from 5:30 to 6 for a healthy dose of recipe sharing and food news. We broadcast our show live from the historic downtown San Luis Obispo Farmers Market, but the information shared is designed for anyone who has a love of fresh, seasonal produce and locally made artisan treats. So whether your favorite market is located at San Francisco's Ferry Plaza in downtown Santa Monica, or if you're simply a member of a CSA, you'll love our weekly Market Fresh, available live each Thursday evening at eatdrinkexplore.com. And if you missed the show, follow our updates on Facebook and Twitter for links to the recipes shared, video from the show, and other great information. Eat, Drink, Explore Radio's Market Fresh, helping perfect your California flavor.
You're listening to the Eat, Drink, Explore Radio Network.
Fabulous.
Live every Sunday with the very latest food, beverage, and travel trends.
Amazing.
Now here's the host of our show, Mr. Randall White.
Very good morning, everyone. Glad you can join us here for the show today. I am your host, Randall White, joined by Patty Pyburn.
Good
We're
morning.
coming to you live from California's Central Coast. This is California's number one place to talk about food, beverages, travel, and tourism. And each week we try to bring you current information in those realms, food, beverage, travel trends, so you can get the most out of your life. And this hour on the Eat, Drink, Explore radio program, we are talking with Huma Siddiqui. She runs the website whitejasmine.com, where you can get some really great spices, unique blends, all from the Pakistan region. She was born in Pakistan and has lived in the Midwest for many, many years. Huma is a longtime friend of mine, and let me tell you, she is a top-notch chef and knows how to blend her spices. So it'll be fun to talk with her regarding how to work some of these spices into your diet. And, you know, there's been a lot of studies recently that show the health benefits of some of these spices, you know? So I thought it would be interesting to have her on. And then, you know, she lives in Wisconsin, so it's kind of hard to live in Wisconsin and not make something that's related to cheese.
Right.
So she
Surprise!
So she has a new line of cheeses that are out.
Very cool.
With these spices incorporated into them. That should be fun. Then at the bottom of the hour, we welcome Master Sommelier, one of fewer than 200 in the world, Brian McClintock. He is opening a new wine merchant and tasting room bar in Santa Barbara. He was featured in the critically acclaimed Somm, S-O-M-M, Somm. It is a documentary regarding the Court of Master Sommeliers and how difficult it is to pass that whole thing. So it should be a really fun hour, but right now it is time to get the news from Miss Patty Pyburn.
It is on this Sunday morning time to see what's happening at the Eat, Drink, Explore news desk. California state transportation officials have until July 10th to make a decision on whether to open the new Bay Bridge on schedule or delay the opening while critical bolts are replaced. The New York Times is reporting this morning these tough issue for a state leader, as the new bridge, even with its imperfections, could be more seismically fit than the older bridge it will eventually replace. Now, the project has become the most expensive public works project in state history at more than $6 billion.
Ooh.
More than 250,000 cars travel across the Bay Bridge every day, making it one of the 3 busiest bridges in the nation.
I hope that all gets worked out appropriately.
Yes. Yeah. And in a timely fashion.
I would not want to be the people making that decision.
Right. No, there's a lot. There's a lot weighing on that.
I mean, a big earthquake hits between now and the time that whatever gets worked out, and no matter which decision you made, you'll never know how bad the other decision would have been. So you're kind of in
It's critical.
It's very critical.
Yes. Okay, the California, oops, I just lost my place. Avocado industry is launching one of its largest marketing campaigns of the year in the run-up to the 4th of July. I can't believe that's right around the corner.
I know.
Industry leaders say more than 96 million pounds of the fruit will be sold in the coming days. This is according to the Packer, an industry news source. Last year, the organization that represents California growers decided to make the 4th holiday a targeted campaign date, and they were pleasantly surprised when sales skyrocketed. Now, this year, they are working to even increase those skyrocketed numbers.
And new numbers show that of those millions of pounds that are sold, 96% of them will be Hass avocados.
Okay, of course, that's the main bulk of it.
I just highly recommend people to go to their local farmers market if they're in an avocado growing region and try some of the different ones.
I agree.
Yeah, mix it up a little bit. We don't want to become a monoculture that never works out for anyone, the birds, the bees, the us.
Okay, and what I've heard from growers around here in the Central Coast is that bacon avocado, which I actually have some growing in my yard, have a different flavor, kind of a smoky, bacony flavor, and a different texture, and they're more delicate, which is why they're not favored for shipping to supermarkets because they don't stand up the travel time.
They have the green skin that bruises.
Thin skin.
Yeah, and the other skin bruises as well, the Hass, but because it's black or dark, you can't tell.
It's not, yes.
And you're right, the bacon one does have that flavor.
Really
But
really
the funny
great
thing
flavor.
is it's named after someone with the last name Bacon. That's how I got the name, not because of the flavor. And then Fuertes are good as well.
Yeah, so I agree with you, Randall. Experiment.
Mix it up.
Try a couple of different ones. Well, a San Francisco wine expert says a $46,000 bottle of wine that a couple purchased for their collection is fake.
Uh-oh.
The couple is suing celebrity chef Charlie Trotter for $75,000. This is according to ABC News. The collectors, a married couple from New York, purchased what they thought was a 1946 Magnum of Burgundy while they were visiting one of Trotter's Chicago restaurants. Well, they tried to get it insured, and the insurance company needed to authenticate the wine. Makes sense. And an expert says it is identical to another bogus bottle, the same wine seen before. And the big giveaway here is the fact that it's a Magnum because the winery would not have been producing that back in 1946. So, so sad.
Yeah, the article that I read this morning on that was saying that it was right post World War II and that resources were scarce and it wasn't a time for magnums. It was a time for
Makes sense.
More conservative sized bottles.
Exactly.
Of wine.
More reasonable.
Right.
Well, that's unfortunate. I hope they get it all straightened out. And then you kind of have to wonder if the chef, Charlie Trotter, may have been duped as well.
Yeah, that's my guess. I mean, he's a really well-known chef and has
with a reputation to protect.
Right. So my guess is he didn't know that it was. I mean, that's just my.
That's what you'd think.
Yeah.
It's all going to come out in the wash eventually. It's Father's Day, of course.
Yes.
If anyone doesn't remember that,
Happy
hello.
Father's Day. If my parents are still watching and haven't made it off to brunch yet.
To all those dads out there, it's also National Fudge Day. Get dad some fudge. It's Fudge Day.
That can be the dessert at your Father's Day barbecue.
There you go.
It's a good day for barbecuing.
It is. You know why? Because it is a nice warm day. Temperatures in the upper 70s for the Central Coast, up through San Francisco, low 90s for the Central Valley. And you can look for a drop from 5 to 10 degrees over the next couple of days. There's a cool off in store for California. But today, lots of sunshine. I did weather on Friday at the station, and that's what I was saying. Sunday, get outdoors, do something for Dad, because it's going to be glorious, and I'm happy to say that I was right.
That's right. I forgot you were doing weather
on Friday. Yes,
you're the affiliates along the Central Coast, all the way from Santa Cruz south to Santa Barbara, and nice weather. And then I believe, you can correct me, Patty, but later in the week, then it'll warm back up again.
About Thursday, they're expecting it to start to warm up a little bit, feel a little more like summer. But
Listen to you.
I like the cool off. I'm ready for it. But today is glorious, beautiful.
Yeah. Yesterday was cool here in San Luis Obispo where we do the show. And I think most of the coastal regions, I saw a live picture out of San Francisco and they were socked in, but that's not unusual.
Yeah.
So, right.
It's kind of that typical June thing, especially in the morning hours.
June gloom.
Yes.
But we're before you know it, we're already halfway through the month now.
Bye-bye, June.
It'll be July. And like you said, time to have some avocado slices on your 4th of July burger.
Mm-hmm.
See, maybe avocados had never been popular before because they're not red, they're not white, and they're not blue.
Right.
So.
Just the wrong color.
Right. 9:14 the time. You're listening to the Eat, Drink, Explore Radio Network live right here on KSCO AM 1080 out of Santa Cruz. Also Crush 92.5 FM in San Luis Obispo. And when we return, we are talking spices from Pakistan. My good friend Huma Siddiqui, who owns White Jasmine, will be joining us, and we're back in just a moment.
May is National Bike Month. Now, I used to be intimidated at the thought of biking to work. I worried about my outfit, the traffic, and the time. But my expanding waistline and rising gas prices helped me rethink that position. And last May, I tried riding to work. What an amazing change. In the years since I started riding to work, I've lost weight, saved money on gas, and canceled my gym membership. You should try it. Here are a few tips to help you get started. Alter your route for biking. Cars and bikes are both vehicles and both have a right to the road, but you'll feel more comfortable and more able to enjoy your ride if you choose less traveled streets. Ride with a friend the first few times, someone who has experience biking to work. They'll help you figure out how to carry your clothes, where to park your bike, and the easiest way to get to the office. Follow all the same rules you follow while driving. Signal before you turn, stop at all stop signs, and stay in the rightmost lane going in your direction. Biking to work is fun, easy, and enjoyable. Try it. For more tips and techniques on how to commute by bicycle or to find other cyclists in your area, visit bikeleague.org.
Can we have your attention for a moment? Eat, Drink, Explore Media has an important date we want to share with you. Saturday, July 13th. We invite you to join us at a craft beer and food event like no other. At last count, generous samples from more than 70 breweries will be paired with local culinary treats for the 2013 Breast Fest along San Francisco's waterfront at Fort Mason. Going on its 14th year, the annual Breast Fest has grown dramatically, raising money for an incredibly important cause, providing free, complimentary treatments for women battling breast cancer. The Charlotte Maxwell Clinic offers services such as acupuncture, massage, organic foods, and transportation. The clinic's core mission to provide relief from the terrible side effects of cancer and its treatments. Eat, Drink, Explore Media is very proud to be among the main sponsors for this year's event. For more information, go to thebreastfest.org. The Eat, Drink, Explore Media radio show you are currently enjoying is in a local affiliate commercial break. Live programming will return shortly. Did you know you can watch a live video simulcast of our Sunday morning and Thursday evening shows from your computer, smartphone, or tablet device? And to top it off, it's free. Simply head to eatdrinkexplore.com or download our free app from the Google Play or Apple App Store. If you have a suggestion for an upcoming guest segment, send an email to radio@eatdrinkexplore.com. We're always looking for fresh ideas, including yours. We love to share fresh, local, organic, seasonal, and sustainable ideas throughout the week. And the best place to find those are on our Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook feeds. Our username across the social networking universe is simple: Eat, Drink, Explore, all one word. Hey, college students, Eat, Drink, Explore Media is always looking for qualified journalism or marketing interns. Send us an email today so we can check your status and put you on the list for upcoming intern vacancies. Would you like to hear this Eat, Drink, Explore radio program on one of your local radio stations? Let the station know and contact us as well so we can get the ball rolling. Okay, you made it. The local affiliate commercial break is now over. Time for more informative and entertaining programming from Eat, Drink, Explore Media. Thank you for your patience.
6:17, the time now on this Sunday Fun Day morning. Great to have you with us, everyone, here for the Eat, Drink, Explore Radio Network. I'm your host, Randall White, joined by Patty Pyburn.
Good morning.
And it is a great day for barbecuing because it's Father's Day. So, have the family over, mix up some different side salads, maybe some rice, some baked potatoes, whatever. Although I don't know that you'd want to bake. Maybe if you put the potatoes on the grill.
On the grill, right?
Yeah.
Not in the house. You don't want that going on inside the house.
No, not with the warmth. I love having rice as a side dish. That's one of my favorite things. And then you can season the meat, slap some cheese on those burgers, and everyone is going to...
Top it off with some avocado.
Yes,
we
exactly.
were talking about that earlier.
And, why not throw in some spices that you don't typically use?
Spice it up.
Spice it up. And joining us on the line right now is a longtime friend of mine, Huma Siddiqui with White Jasmine. It is whitejasmine.com. Here to talk about experimenting with spices from Pakistan. Huma, welcome to the program.
Well, good morning, Randall. Very nice to hear your voice again.
I know. I used to welcome her onto the show when I anchored the morning news at NBC 15 in Madison, Wisconsin, and you would always whip up some really great dishes for us. And your ventures have really expanded since I left Wisconsin. You have a television show there, and you have ventured into making cheese, which I guess should not be surprising considering you're in Wisconsin.
I know. I thought we live in the dairy state. Might as well. I think it's time for Pakistan and Wisconsin to come together and get something wonderful going.
And so what sort of spices work best with cheese? What are you mixing into these cheese blends?
Well, our tandoori masala that you've tried before, so we wanted to make a tandoori gouda. It has the objective really is to create a line of cheeses that has a lot of flavor, some heat, but, just levels of flavor, because I don't find that as much, unfortunately.
Mm-hmm.
So, the combination of both of those things. So knowing that tandoori masala has 13 different spices, a lot of levels of flavor, but let's experiment with that. And it turned out to be our best seller.
Oh, yeah. So it's a Gouda, which naturally has like a smoky flavor. And then you're mixing in with that tandoori masala.
Yes. So we have I've created three different flavors. Our tandoori Gouda, our Saji barbecue, which is more about a little bit more chipotle barbecue flavor, more chipotle than the barbecue. And then our cumin Gouda with whole cumin seeds, because, I love cumin. I think it's such a healthy spice, and I didn't want it to grind it. I really wanted to use whole seeds, because you have to feel that impact once you put it in your mouth. There has to be a little bit of an explosion and a bit of a party going on in your mouth. You know how food is supposed to be.
Yeah. It's celebratory, right?
A party. I love it.
In fact, we have on the site here, my husband Ricardo has been sifting through the site. You have a whole page that's about whole spices, not pre-ground.
Mm-hmm.
And is that the point, to actually use the whole spice in what you're doing?
Yes, and because it has a different impact. I know you can roast them and grind them, of course, and again, it's very flavorful. But I personally feel that when you add whole spices to any of your dishes, it just has a different impact and flavor to it. I always encourage our audience to try them. For example, when you warm up your oil, you're trying to make something, throw in like whole cardamoms, whole cloves, whole cinnamon stick, and wait for a minute or so, and you can actually smell all those spices, and it just smells heavenly in your kitchen, in your home.
Huma, it's funny that you say that about the whole spices, because I have a family barbecue sauce recipe that I make that has whole celery seed and mustard seed in it, and I really like that. Every now and again, in a certain bite, you'll get that burst of really strong flavor. I like that.
And so what would you recommend for people who are barbecuing today? Clearly, all three of those cheeses that you recommend
would be good.
would go well on a burger or a chicken sandwich, whatever they might even, I don't know, portobello mushroom might even be good as well. But in terms of spices that might be on our listeners' racks today, what would you recommend mixing in with like a side rice dish or even maybe sprinkled on top of one of those potatoes that you put on the grill?
Yeah, a lot of my friends and some of our audience have used our tandoori masala on top of the potatoes. But what I like to do is put our cumin gouda. Once your burger is almost ready, just add a slice of your cumin gouda, cover it, and let it melt a little bit. And you will never forget that burger.
Mm-hmm.
That's a guarantee.
My mouth is watering and I'm vegan.
A memorable burger. Oh, boy.
Yes.
So, Uma, I'm curious, what you suggest about the level of spices. Does it depend on the person? I just was interviewing a local chef who was just bemoaning the fact that people say, why is restaurant food better and different than what I'm making at home? And he said one of the biggest things that people is the seasoning. They overlook how important that is to food, adding the spices.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. I was just talking about our recent show where I made the fish tacos. And I always like to tease our audience and our friends that, I see people adding like a pinch of spice. And please don't even insult the spice. Don't even add it.
I like it.
I love that.
You have to take a whole scoop of spice and throw that in there. Be generous. How bad can it be,
Yeah, that's how I cook. I throw it all in.
Right. And then you are going to experience that flavor that you're looking for. Otherwise, I usually tease my friends that if you do that, I'm going to take my spices away.
You can't have them.
Can't tolerate it.
Huma, I'm looking at a photo that you shared with us, and I noticed some cilantro that's on top. I'm guessing it's cilantro that's on top of some rice that you made. Earlier, you mentioned chipotle. Both of those here in California, we would associate with Mexico, south of the border. Are there a lot of spices that are shared between cultures that we wouldn't realize that are part of Pakistani culture, but also Mexican culture?
Absolutely. Cumin is a big one.
Mm-hmm.
It comes to mind right away. And then cilantro. We always use cilantro in Pakistan. And, it isn't called cilantro there. It's called coriander.
Oh,
right. Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So when I moved here to the United States, it was really interesting because I was looking for it. And I would ask, well, where can I find coriander? And they would send me to the dried spice rack.
Right.
And I thought, well, no, that's not it. It's supposed to be leafy, So I'm trying to explain that to the store. And then I thought, I'm just going to go and start smelling everything. And I found it. It's just called cilantro. That's it.
Yeah, you can't mistake that smell.
Right.
You really can't. It's delicious, I think, So there's been a lot of studies recently that show different spices have hidden health benefits that maybe we didn't realize.
Right.
Mm-hmm. And would you say that there are some that you're very familiar with, that you know of, the heart benefits or those sorts of things?
Absolutely. Turmeric is, I would say, is the top of the line because it's a very healing spice. And growing up, I remember that my grandma would put it in a cloth. If you have a bruise or something, so it was also used externally, and she'll say, just put it on wherever the bruise is, and it will help. Well, the problem with us as kids was that your hand turns yellow.
It's really bright yellow.
Yes.
Yeah. And we didn't like that. But the point is that it was always used as a healing spice. Internally or externally.
I've been mixing that into rice quite a bit, and I now make my own garbanzo bean mash. What's that called?
Oh, the hummus.
Hummus. I make my. I know. I couldn't think of it. I make my own hummus at home, and I add it to that too. It's perfect.
It is.
Yeah, Huma Siddiqui, Spices of Pakistan. You can find her blends, the whole seasoning, you name it, at whitejasmine.com. Huma, thank you so much for joining us today, and say hi to all my friends back there in Madison.
I certainly will. Thank you for having me. Have a great day.
All right, everyone, stick around. When we come back, it's all about tasting wine with a master sommelier. Can we have your attention for a moment? Eat, Drink, Explore Media has an important date we want to share with you. Saturday, July 13th. We invite you to join us at a craft beer and food event like no other. At last count, generous samples from more than 70 breweries will be paired with local culinary treats for the 2013 Breast Fest along San Francisco's waterfront at Fort Mason. Going on its 14th year, the annual Breast Fest has grown dramatically, raising money for an incredibly important cause, providing free, complimentary treatments for women battling breast cancer. The Charlotte Maxwell Clinic offers services such as acupuncture, massage, organic foods, and transportation. The clinic's core mission to provide relief from the terrible side effects of cancer and its treatments. Eat, Drink, Explore Media is very proud to be among the main sponsors for this year's event. For more information, go to thebreastfest.org.
May is National Bike Month. Now, I used to be intimidated at the thought of biking to work. I worried about my outfit, the traffic, and the time, but my expanding waistline and rising gas prices helped me rethink that position. And last May, I tried riding to work. What an amazing change. In the years since I started riding to work, I've lost weight, saved money on gas, and canceled my gym membership. You should try it. Here are a few tips to help you get started. Alter your route for biking. Cars and bikes are both vehicles and both have a right to the road, but you'll feel more comfortable and more able to enjoy your ride if you choose less traveled streets. Ride with a friend the first few times, someone who has experience biking to work. They'll help you figure out how to carry your clothes, where to park your bike, and the easiest way to get to the office. Follow all the same rules you follow while driving. Signal before you turn, stop at all stop signs, and stay in the rightmost lane going in your direction. Biking to work is fun, easy, and enjoyable. Try it. For more tips and techniques on how to commute by bicycle or to find other cyclists in your area, visit bikeleague.org.
The Eat, Drink, Explore Media radio show you are currently enjoying is in a local affiliate commercial break. Live programming will return shortly. Did you know you can watch a live video simulcast of our Sunday morning and Thursday evening shows from your computer, smartphone, or tablet device? And to top it off, it's free. Simply head to eatdrinkexplore.com or download our free app from the Google Play or Apple App Store. If you have a suggestion for an upcoming guest segment, send an email to radio@eatdrinkexplore.com. We're always looking for fresh ideas, including yours. We love to share fresh, local, organic, seasonal, and sustainable ideas throughout the week. And the best place to find those are on our Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook feeds. Our username across the social networking universe is simple: Eat, Drink, Explore, all one word. Hey, college students, Eat, Drink, Explore Media is always looking for qualified journalism or marketing interns. Send us an email today so we can check your status and put you on the list for upcoming intern vacancies. Would you like to hear this Eat, Drink, Explore radio program on one of your local radio stations? Let the station know and contact us as well so we can get the ball rolling. Okay, you made it. The local affiliate commercial break is now over. Time for more informative and entertaining programming from Eat, Drink, Explore Media. Thank you for your patience.
Welcome back to the Eat, Drink, Explore radio network. Here now is your fabulous host, Mr. Randall White.
9:33 now the time here on this Sunday fun day morning. It happens to be Father's Day as well, so here's the bummer, Patty Pyburn. We don't have any wine or champagne to lift a
That
toast
is a bummer.
to
I have
Dad's right
tea.
now. Yeah.
Cheers.
Well,
that is a bummer.
My pops is at brunch right now with, I believe, my brother, and my sister couldn't make it, and I'm clearly not there. But my parents know how to do a good brunch, so I'm sure they're having a great time. Welcome, everyone, to the program. A happy Father's Day to you if you're a dad. And we are, this segment, talking wine. For our Crush 92.5 listeners, at the top of the hour, we spoke with the woman who runs the San Luis Obispo International Film Festival about some high praise they just received, naming the festival one of the best in the nation, which I would agree. It's a really fantastic festival. All of the big city stuff you would expect for a festival with the small town charm to go with it.
Exactly. And a castle.
Yeah.
And a castle on top.
And a castle on top of it. Hearst Castle. And so this past festival was back in the spring, and one of the featured films was Somm, S-O-M-M, which is short for sommelier. It was also, I guess it was featured at the Napa Film Festival. That was back in November, I believe, and has really received just high acclaim. What the movie focuses on is a group of, in this case, all guys, trying to work their way through the court of master sommeliers so they can be one of fewer than 200 people in the world that hold that title. It is not an easy challenge, and one of the gentlemen who was featured in this movie is now taking his skills to Santa Barbara, where he will open Cavo, I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly, Cavo in Santa Barbara, which will be a tasting room and wine shop. Brian McClintock joins us on the line right now. Brian, welcome to the Eat, Drink, Explore radio program.
Top of the morning, guys. Great to be here.
Likewise. So ever since this movie has come out, have you been surprised at the amount of attention and, to some level, fame you've received from this movie?
I don't know about fame, but yeah, the attention is great. We're opening, what is it, June 21st now in theaters throughout the country, so it's very, very exciting to see all the notoriety it's been getting. It's been great.
Yeah, it was picked up by a distributor, and I knew it was going to open soon. I didn't realize it was going to be that soon, so just a week from now.
Yeah, so it's coming out. We just actually finished up a premiere that we did at Montage Laguna Beach last night, which was really fun. It was a little private screening.
How fun.
And that was great. Yeah, I'm sitting here on my patio enjoying the nice view.
Oh, I love Laguna Beach, and I'm sorry that we made you get up so early. I imagine it was a fun event.
There is no sleep for sommeliers, Randall.
No, apparently not.
So this is great. But no, the film has been doing really, really well, and I'm couldn't be prouder for the director, Jason Wise, who's just done a great job with the film. So excited to see what happens.
We had Jason on the program back in, when was that?
It was months back.
It was right before the San Luis Obispo Film Festival.
I think you're right. Yes.
Right.
Yes.
And it was nice to have him on and talk about it as well.
Yeah. So now that you're getting all this attention, is this leading to some opportunities for you?
Well, it's been actually great for our shop, which is up and running just about the same time as the theater release. So our store up in Santa Barbara is going to be up and running at the end of the month. And so to have the film going on simultaneously with that is definitely good for business.
That's good timing.
Mm-hmm.
Brian, there's an article that you're also featured in. Is it in Food and Wine? Yeah, Food and Wine magazine. And I just stumbled upon it because Anthony, who does our audio, last night I went to get a haircut from him as well. And he's like, hey, did you see this? I think you're featuring this guy tomorrow.
Right.
And I'm like, oh, what? Yeah. And so how did it word it, Patty, in the article that passing the master sommelier test is like?
The author likens it to passing the bar if you had to eat the paper that the bar exam was written on and then determine the trees where it was grown and all of that the paper was pulped from. So
does that sound accurate, Brian?
I've got nothing but the highest respect for lawyers. And to tell you the truth, pass the bar exam just sounds like the most painful thing on earth to me. But it's a test that combines a lot of skill sets, and I think that's the tricky thing. If you're just like a bookworm and an egghead, you know what I mean? I think they have problems with the more social or intuitive aspects of tasting and service and stuff. But if you're just completely intuitive and stuff, then oftentimes those people struggle when it comes to theory and, you know, hitting the books. So you got to kind of, fire on all cylinders to pass this thing.
Now, your new place, Cavo, am I pronouncing that correctly?
We actually had a name change. There was a Cavo wine bar in Denver. So in order to respect their business, we felt it best to change the name. So it's actually Les Marchands now.
Les Marchands.
Which means the merchants.
Okay. Then, I like that. I'm just writing it down here so that I...
You don't forget.
Of course, my pen runs out of ink. I got a new one here. Thanks, Anthony. And so, Les Marchands, will it still be because we're showing a web address right now, cavosb.com. Does that stay the same?
Right. That's going to forward you straight to our new website, which will be like lesmarchandswine.com. So. Okay, good. Yeah.
So, at Les Marchands, how will you differentiate your wine bar from, all here in California, the thousands, I would imagine, the thousands of others that you are competing with?
Well, that's a good question. The whole concept for us started with kind of a Burgundian concept. My business partner, Eric Railsback, travels to Burgundy a lot, and there's this basically this retail shop in Chassagne-Montrachet that specializes in special cuvées, a lot of back vintage stuff, rare and uncommon bottles that you might not find on the open market. So that's kind of the focus for us, is like taking, wines that people just don't see very often. Often you'll have a collector consign his cellar. So you get a chance to taste wines that you normally wouldn't be able to see or drink. So that's really, really exciting. I think the focus is more on France, Austria, Italy, and Germany in terms of European selections. And honestly, in Santa Barbara, you don't see a lot of European focus at all.
No.
The wine cask was very prominent back in their heyday with doing that. And so I think we want to kind of pick up the torch and bring that back to Santa Barbara. The other thing we want to do is really highlight a lot of local domestic producers from the county who a lot of people don't know exist. Eric and I both make wine up in the Lompoc area, and we get to interface with a lot of these 27-something, 30-something winemakers who make like 50 to 100 cases, and I don't think a lot of people out there, even in town, know who they are. So it's a great opportunity for us to be able to share that with people.
Sort of hidden treasures, things that people don't really realize are around. That's interesting. The article in Food and Wine that Randall and I were reading, you guys did some tasting in the Lompoc Wine Ghetto. Is this one of those places you're talking about that a lot of people don't realize?
No, that's absolutely right. The Lompoc Ghetto is great. So they're up to there's got to be, I don't know, 15 to 20 tasting rooms up there, and it's just like the most chill, like warehouse style. It's not like the Disneyland $65 million winery, but it kind of has the California feel of what it would be like to go to Burgundy, and the people are just kind of farmers, so it's a very simplistic approach to tasting. It's kind of fun, non-pretentious, and honestly, the winemakers in the ghetto, there's some fantastic producers in there, so definitely worth the money.
And some good stories, too. I actually have done some interviews there for the station that I work for. It's some really good stories, and you're in there tasting, and you're chatting and talking. You start to hear some of the people's, what led them to be winemakers and, sort of the choices they've made. You can really pass a day sitting there listening.
I'm sure you can.
The wine makes it easier, too.
Right.
Absolutely. And I have nothing but the utmost respect for winemakers, having, started a wine label and seeing the process from start to finish. It's one thing to do it, when you're studying for an exam.
Yeah.
It's another thing to watch what these guys put themselves through on a daily basis. Pretty amazing.
So you actually have your own label then, and you'll have a wine shop and tasting room, and you're a master sommelier.
Yeah, I'm trying to stack deck to keep myself busy. We have a wine project with Dustin Wilson, who's actually one of the other subjects. He's now the wine director at 11 Madison Park in New York. But him and I and Eric Railsback, my business partner, are together on this wine label called Valin, which actually we just bottled May 31st and have taken it to market. So 2012 is our first vintage, and it's kind of a Syrah-based project we're really, really excited about. Our winemaker is Justin Willett from the great Tyler Wines, and couldn't have a better winemaker at the helm.
Where are the grapes grown, in the Santa Rita Hills, or?
Yeah, so we're going to have different fruit sources this year, but for the first year, most of the Rhone varietals came from Happy Canyon and Ballard. So the Syrah was from Kimsey, which is a relatively young vineyard in southwest Ballard. And then the other fruit for Grenache and Marsanne and Viognier came from Camp 4 in Happy Canyon and McGinley Vineyard. So
Ballard's that really little town between Solvang and Los Olivos?
Right.
Yeah.
It just became an AVA, so the ink is not dry on Ballard Canyon.
And an AVA is a distinct region of growing that you can put on a label, correct?
Absolutely. So American viticultural area. It's too early. I can't say viticultural.
Right. That's okay. So we are speaking with Brian McClintock, one of fewer than 200 master sommeliers in the world today, featured in the movie Somm, coming to a theater near you. It is 9:44. When we return, Brian, I know you can't shove everything that you experienced going through the, months, maybe years to...
preparing for that master sommelier test.
Perhaps you can give us some tricks for tasting?
I'll do my best.
All right, stick around, everyone. You're listening to the Eat, Drink, Explore Radio Network. We're back with tasting tips right after this short commercial break.
Randall White here, host of Eat, Drink, Explore Radio, with a tip for Central Coast wine tasting. Eberly Winery was recently voted Winery of the Year by the world's top sommeliers and has one of the best local tours according to Wine Spectator. Eberly Winery open daily 10 to 6, and the winery's cave tours and wine tasting always complimentary. It's easy to find, too. Located on Highway 46 East, just 3.5 miles from Highway 101. Now it's time to plan your visit. Just head to eberlywinery.com.
Can we have your attention for a moment? Eat, Drink, Explore Media has an important date we want to share with you. Saturday, July 13th. We invite you to join us at a craft beer and food event like no other. At last count, generous samples from more than 70 breweries will be paired with local culinary treats for the 2013 Breast Fest along San Francisco's waterfront at Fort Mason. Going on its 14th year, the annual Breast Fest has grown dramatically, raising money for an incredibly important cause, providing free, complimentary treatments for women battling breast cancer. The Charlotte Maxwell Clinic offers services such as acupuncture, massage, organic foods, and transportation. The clinic's core mission to provide relief from the terrible side effects of cancer and its treatments. Eat, Drink, Explore Media is very proud to be among the main sponsors for this year's event. For more information, go to thebreastfest.org.
Randall White here, host of Eat, Drink, Explore Radio, with a tip for Central Coast wine tasting. Eberly Winery was recently voted Winery of the Year by the world's top sommeliers and has one of the best local tours according to Wine Spectator. Eberly Winery open daily 10 to 6, and the winery's cave tours and wine tasting always complimentary. It's easy to find, too. Located on Highway 46 East, just 3.5 miles from Highway 101. Now it's time to plan your visit. Just head to eberlywinery.com.
The Eat, Drink, Explore Media radio show you are currently enjoying is in a local affiliate commercial break. Live programming will return shortly. Did you know you can watch a live video simulcast of our Sunday morning and Thursday evening shows from your computer, smartphone, or tablet device? And to top it off, it's free. Simply head to eatdrinkexplore.com or download our free app from the Google Play or Apple App Store. If you have a suggestion for an upcoming guest segment, send an email to radio@eatdrinkexplore.com. We're always looking for fresh ideas, including yours. We love to share fresh, local, organic, seasonal, and sustainable ideas throughout the week. And the best place to find those are on our Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook feeds. Our username across the social networking universe is simple: Eat, Drink, Explore, all one word.
Hey, college students, Eat, Drink, Explore Media is always looking for qualified journalism or marketing interns. Send us an email today so we can check your status and put you on the list for upcoming intern vacancies. Would you like to hear this Eat, Drink, Explore radio program on one of your local radio stations? Let the station know and contact us as well so we can get the ball rolling. Okay, you made it. The local affiliate commercial break is now over. Time for more informative and entertaining programming from Eat, Drink, Explore Media. Thank you for your patience. Welcome back to the program, everyone. 9:49 now the time. Our audio guy, Anthony, has us laughing because I left
distracted.
I left a package of chocolate-covered almonds from Catano Brothers on the...
Where do you get those,
they're
Randall?
Dark chocolate chipotle, and you get them all over the state. They're made locally in San Luis Obispo, but they are delicious. They give you a little bit of spice kick at the end.
A little sweet, a little crunch, a little salt.
In the back of your mouth, at first you're like, I don't taste any chipotle, and then
kind of creeps up on you.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh yeah, there it is.
Mm-hmm.
So I left the bag right there in front of the audio console, and
it's gone.
It's gone. Yeah.
And he said, I have to stop eating these, and he holds up the empty bag. Yes, you do, because there are none left.
Yeah, you don't have any other option.
No mo.
Welcome to the program, everyone. Great to have you with us. Last segment, we were speaking with Master Sommelier Brian McClintock. He is opening a new place in Santa Barbara called Les Marchands. I hope I'm saying that correctly because
sounds good.
Brian, I do not speak French, but I always try to fake it as best I can by
better than I can pronounce it.
Basically, I just drop the last 5 or 6 letters of every word, and
it's a great policy.
Seems to work pretty well. Congratulations, first of all. You passed the test of the Court of Masters Sommeliers, and it was all documented in a movie, SOMM, S-O-M-M, which comes out on the 21st of this month. Check the art house theater near you. I would imagine here in San Luis Obispo it'll play at the Palms.
I would think so.
Is my guess. Will it play there locally for you in Santa Barbara?
I hope so. Eventually, they've already been in talks to do it. So I think right now it's in the major markets in L.A., and for those people who can't really get down to L.A. in the interim, it'll come out on iTunes on the same day, and then as the first week goes by, the secondary markets will hopefully pick up. So,
very cool.
I really think there's a very viable chance it'll come to the Central Coast.
Our plan here is to drive down the 101, and if it does open in a theater there, watch it, and then when we're done with the movie, head on over to your place.
That sounds like a great plan. I will have a glass waiting for you.
Yeah, not your bar. We're literally going to head over to your place. No, I'm teasing. Yeah. So, all right, let's talk. First off, how long does this whole process take? If you're going to get an MBA, it's 6 years, So for what you had to do, how long does that take? And then how long does the test take?
Well, I think for the average, so the exam is 3 days long, and you can only take it once a year. And if you pass one part, you can keep that part, but you have 3 tries, in other words, 3 years to pass all 3 parts. If you don't, in 3 years, you lose all your parts.
You're starting over.
And start over, and I can't tell you how many times that happens.
Yeah.
So I think the average person, in all honesty, from level 1, there's 4 levels of the exam, all the way to the master level, is probably a 7 to 8 year process on average.
I just want to point out, when you say the average person who passes the exam, if you're talking about a pool of less than 200 in the world, is there actually an average person?
There is no average person, right?
Yeah, we don't have a lot of numbers to make.
Yeah, statistically speaking, I'm not sure that can technically be true. Right.
Good point. I'll go back to my statistics.
So 7 to 8 years to get to that point, and then wow. And then so clearly the average, in this case there is an average person, the average person that goes to whether a restaurant, a wine bar, or even that goes out wine tasting at any of the many places throughout the state that you could do that here, what are some of the aspects they should be looking for when that first, glass of wine
comes to their lips, what, kind of walk us through it.
Walk us through just kind of tasting tips in general?
For the average. For the average
person.
Yeah.
Not what you're looking for, right?
Honestly, the biggest hurdle I get with even most people is the intimidation factor. And it's like the desire to hone your palate. I think a lot of people have a preconceived notion that, like, oh, this guy's a master sommelier, or this guy knows a lot about wine. I could never be that. Wine is wine. I just, put my nose in the glass and all I smell is wine.
Yeah.
And I think that was my hurdle going in, and I get that question a lot. And what people ask me more than anything is, can everybody hone their palate to be that sharp? And the answer, having gone through the process, is yes. I think this process more demystified a lot of things for me than it actually, opened Pandora's box, so to speak. So when you approach a wine, it's far more brain than it is anything else. We have a 5-part assessment that we use in the court where we, analyze nose, aroma, palate. You have an initial conclusion and a final conclusion. Someone hands you a glass of, let's say, red wine, and you look at that wine and you can see your fingers out the bottom of the glass. It's a translucent red wine. Well, it's a thin-skinned grape. And if you know which grapes are thin-skinned and which grapes are thick-skinned going in, you can eliminate a lot of wines. So Malbec, Syrah, Cab would be out of the equation at that point. You look at the color, and that tells you a lot. It can tell you whether the wine was made oxidatively or reductively. It can tell you whether it's old or young. So before you even put your nose in the glass, you're already making judgments about the wine. And, I guess the fascinating thing about it is, everybody comes to the table, the average human being, with 10,000 smells that they innately can smell. And so when we recognize that as human beings, the talent is there. It's just a matter of creating a language and understanding the theory of tasting more than anything else.
I love that.
It's fascinating.
Patty and I have interviewed so many different people, and I was wondering, what is he going to say that you
could actually put into work.
Right, that I think, okay, there's something I haven't heard when it comes to tasting. And you just did it. I never thought that, looking to see your fingers through the wine, that's interesting to me. Yeah.
Well, I think in a lot of ways ignorance is bliss, because at some point you just want to turn that brain off and have a good time. But, for the cerebral part of us who just kind of, have a quest for knowledge, it's a fun thing, and it's a fun game, and really it's not that intimidating to hone your palate and get better.
Interesting.
Brian, would you say that men have better palates than women, or it's vice versa?
Yeah, I think women naturally, especially with either perfumes or flowers, or whether it's color swatches, for paints and stuff, it's they have an ability to analyze colors really well and know flowers really well and smells in general. I think women are far sharper than men when it comes to this stuff.
So why is it disproportionately the other way around when it comes to those few people that hold this huge level of status among sommeliers?
Well, that's a very good question. I think the Court of Master Sommeliers started in the 60s in England, actually, and it was a bunch of guys who got together. And that's what it started, and it's now become a lot bigger thing than a little boys club in England. You know what I mean? And so you have, especially at the lower levels, there's a huge demographic of women that are entering the fray.
Good.
And a lot more master sommeliers now than there were 5-10 years ago. So that number is changing, thankfully, and it's very, very exciting to see.
Brian, thank you so much for being on the show today. Really, we could have gone a whole nother segment. You're
so
fantastic, and I wish you the best of luck with all of your ventures.
Thank you guys so much. Thanks for having me.
And we'll see you soon, and we have links available at eatdrinkexplore.com for all of Brian's ventures. Make it a great day, everyone.
You've been listening to the Eat, Drink, Explore radio program. If you missed any of our segments today, look for them online or through our free Apple and Android apps. Catch you back right here next week.
The Eat, Drink, Explore Media radio show you are currently enjoying is in a local affiliate commercial break. Live programming will return shortly.